I don't know what I should do.
Don't be afraid.
What the hell is this guy doing?
What the hell? What is happening right now?
It's a fucking Alaska Airlines Q400. What the fuck is he doing over here?
Yeah, not quite ready to bring it down just yet. Hey, I want the coordinates of that orca with the, you know, the mama orca with the baby. I want to go see that guy.
Me
I got a
too.
lot of people that
Me
care
too,
about
brother.
me. It's gonna disappoint them to hear that I did this.
A lot of people don't get it. They don't see any reason why Sky King did what he did.
Yeah, I just kind of want to do a couple maneuvers, see what it can do.
They don't understand how we feel about the world that we live in.
Alright. Nah, damn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was going to be it, you know?
Everything we've built and everything they've taken away, it's gone. And it's been replaced with a fishbowl.
Nah, everything's peachy. Peachy clean. Just did a little circle around right here. It's beautiful. I think I got some gas to go check out the Olympics.
Where everything's fake, everything's a lie, everything is out of our control, just like in a fishbowl, with a little castle and a little treasure chest, and a picture in the background of where we used to live.
Nah, I'm a white guy. Man, I'm sorry about this. I hope this doesn't ruin your day.
And it's all constructed entirely out of poison that is slowly killing us. And most of us are too sedated to even notice.
Oh, hell yeah, it's a blast, man. I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Sometimes we
Exactly.
wake up briefly, like from a nightmare. And it's like we struggle to stay awake in bed long enough that we don't fall directly back into that same terrible dream. But we do fall back.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
Sky King showed us something real, and he reminded us of something we had forgotten.
I think I'm trying to do a barrel roll. And if that goes good, now I'm just going to nose down and call it a night.
Just go the
I don't
night,
know
goddamn.
how long I can stay awake this time.
I got a lot of
grim.
people that care about me. And it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now. Now I'm a white guy.
White guy.
I guess. And if that goes good, now I'm going to nose down and call it a night. Never really knew it guy until now. Got a few screws loose. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to land it. I wasn't really planning on landing it.
That's the wrong drop. I'll play the intro first.
You are tuned in to Chemical Wire Radio. These are your hosts, Rock and Bard.
Oh no, we get the drops going, and you just jump the gun, don't you?
I jumped the gun. Well, everybody
God.
knows now. We got drops.
Oh man, I'm actually happy that happened because that video, it was.
We need an attention cutter.
That's you know, Sky King is really interesting to me because I know that in the comments of YouTube videos dedicated to him, there's definitely a lot of people just memeing around with the sympathy. But
Yeah.
I do think there's a lot of normies that connect with this.
Well, yeah, obviously. The fish. That's why I picked this video, cause like what the guy is saying. I mean, it's sort of true, you know.
Yeah.
We all
It's-
live in our
it's-
fishbowl.
It's just weird that a dude stealing a plane and like doing his last wishes before killing himself is really inspirational.
Do you think that
You
was
know
his
what I
last
mean?
wish? Like doing a barrel roll with a plane?
Well, it's just the last feasible wish, his last thing he can do himself, yes. I mean, I'm sure he'd much rather have those loose bolts and screws, like, you know, tightened up, but
Yeah, I
there's
guess.
no doing that. Doing a barrel roll is much more easier than stuffing antidepressants down your throat, you know?
I was actually
guess.
surprised how easy it was for him to fly that plane. I didn't think, like, if you
He's
had no
played a few
experience.
video games before, dude.
Oh, I guess that really helps.
He's played a little bit of GTA VR, so he knows what he's doing.
Or maybe he trained with the ISIS agents on that plane simulator.
Yeah, perhaps. Nah, dude, he's a white guy.
White guy. Yeah.
Before we step away from this, though, I have to ask you: if you were at the end, if the degeneracy and anti-white of our current culture got too much to you, what would your last thing be that you would do, like a barrel roll? Can you think of anything?
Kill Merkel. Definitely.
Okay. God damn it. Because I was trying to think about this, and like I don't want to sound like some kind of low aspirationless fellow, but I don't know if I can think of anything.
Swim
that
with
I
the
wanna
sharks?
do. I guess I'd like to see the orca. I'd like to see that boy.
Alright then,
But,
well, next time you're close to a plane, go ahead, man.
Alright.
Right. Let's start with, I guess, the biggest topic of the week. Unite to Right. Number
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Massive improvement over 1. Basically because the right did nothing. It's all the
Yeah.
left.
All the violence, we didn't kill any fat heifers this time.
No, we didn't. I don't think anyone got seriously hurt.
Probably not, no. Maybe
Depends
a few
on-
trash cans and police car vehicles, I'm sure.
No, I think it was like, not in a weird way. It was a very big win for us because nothing happened with the riots because they were hauled off almost straight away. They had like some weirdly cucked things about how they're not racist and look, we have our black MC. I find it hilarious.
Yeah, I know. And to a point, it's kind of disappointing, but I mean, it's better than marching with, you know, swastikas on your shoulder or whatever, or on your arm.
I'm
wielding
gonna-
tiki torches.
I'm gonna put our base black guy on the stream here, so
Oh yeah,
we can all have a
see
look.
That beauty. No, not that beauty. Sam Hyde is on the screen. Put a different beauty
No,
on there.
no. We have we have a delay. Remember?
There we go.
Oh man, I fucking look at him with his
Now-
cool shirt.
The deets on him flirting with a white woman. Is there a video of that or?
Nah, I was looking for it, but apparently he was flirting with a white woman from, I think, Unite, right?
Okay, and I
It's
also
like-
want to go out on record and say that I'm not trying to get some like blacked content. I'm just curious. 'Cause, you know,
We have enough
for
of
the
that already.
laughs. Yeah. What? Stop. Continue.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't get what they were doing with their whole, like, almost civic nationalist speech, like how they're not racist, how he actually apologized for the
Yeah,
first Unite
I
right.
only listened to a little bit of it because, like, honestly, the counter-protesting was more interesting than, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it
weird
didn't really
cut.
matter. It didn't really matter. This basically came down to Antifa are faggots, and everybody sees it. Unite
Yes,
right. I
that's
mean,
good.
nobody even cares really.
No, and I'm almost certain I read in an article, I think it was Daily Stormer, that CNN was doing live footage of the protest, and like all they got was Antifa, you know, chimping out.
Yeah,
So
the
like,
mainstream media stopped reporting on it almost immediately.
there's nothing to report besides the fact that, you know,
Yeah.
Antifags.
All right, let's look at some of these tweets.
Yeah, let's dive into the content here. Let me scroll
Look.
on up.
So this is the first tweet. I'm gonna wait.
I'm
Let me
opening
see if
it.
I can increase this a little bit. Very, very brave, I must say. Last year they came with torches. This year they come with badges. Very
Man.
inspirational.
Who said the left can't meme? This is great.
Exactly. I mean, I get it, but how stupid can you be?
Especially the fact that, like, the cops are usually who's protecting Antifa. It's like they're all just daughters trying to rebel against their parents, is what they remind me of.
Yeah. well, the people who came there didn't really come to punch Nazis. They came because I guess they want to do violence. They want attention. Doesn't really matter who the enemy is, the cops
they
or
just
the
wanted to
fascists.
cause some kind of chaos. One of these speakers on the counter protest, I didn't do a timestamp on this one because it's not really that interesting. But at one point he says like, we're sick of non-violent. We're here to fight for our comrades or some some comic bullshit like that.
They always use the word comrades to talk about other Antifa. It's retarded.
It's so weird seeing a black dude say comrades for some reason. I mean, the commie's a commie, but like comrade just seems like a white word, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird to come from a black dude.
Maybe they'll use homie or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the Black Lives Matter version of comrade. Alright, we doing the next...
sort of is. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's zoom in a little bit at our proud feminist.
Ew! Dude,
Look
I
at
have
the
a TV
sign.
teacher that looks just like this woman. Another queer Jewish dyke standing against racism.
Queer Jewish dyke. I love that.
Like the only thing that can top this woman is one of the counter protesters or protesting speakers, who is another black queer Jewish standing against racism. But we'll save that for later.
For later, yeah. Also, I'd like to note. Look at this. What the hell is that?
What am I looking at?
This woman. The one who tweeted this. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with her? She looks like a robot or a doll or something.
Yeah, no, she looks like a Barbie doll you find underneath like a girl's bed just sitting there.
The eye is completely dead. How do you do that?
Is the most plastic human I have ever seen, for sure.
Exactly. Okay, and now my favorite one.
Alright, they saved the best for last.
The text with it also. Justice always triumphs over hate. Can't stress enough how underwhelming Unite the Right group is.
As I scroll down.
Fate and politics.
Oh my goodness, look at this army.
I love like the female priest on the right with like the gay stuff.
Yeah.
And with the iron crosses on it, very fashy.
Yeah, at the bottom, holy shit, there we go. That's our priest.
Our priest, exactly. But all of them, they're all boomers, women or non-whites.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all they can get. It's not like they're gonna get a nice, strong, youthful white male to join their forces.
Yeah, actually, yeah, recently, I don't think that's... They used to have them, but I think they all got punched by the Proud Boys.
Hell yeah. Put in comas.
Alright, should we check the article now?
Yeah, let's pop that up.
So, let me just pull this up. This article is... Yeah, the archive. It's fucking hilarious. So, I'm obviously using an archive link because I'm not gonna give any traffic to this blog.
Yeah.
Look at this header alone. Look at the fucking... It's so gay. It's like, how can we be gay and edgy? Black flowers.
God, this fucking banner. Get the fuck out, you jabronis. What is this?
Get organized, Nate. Get organized.
It looks... Who says jabronis? Are they referencing something? I'm pretty sure that's like hockey speak. Well, on the TV show it's hockey speak. Yeah.
Where is that?
Look at the banner.
What am I missing? I don't see that, jabron.
That's what that says. Ya jabronis. Get the fuck out, ya jabronis. Are you looking at the picture?
Oh! You said the banner.
Yeah,
okay, no, the picture. No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there's a TV show that says it's fucking hockey talk, but I believe they're just making fun of the words. I don't know, but it's not a word to describe anybody. It's stupid.
All right, let's have a little look at his quotes. I'd suggest you start just reading
At
like
the
the
very
first
top?
2 paragraphs. It's
Okay.
of our proud Antifa race warrior.
A personal and reflective account on the recent anti-fascist mass mobilization in Portland, Oregon. 8:30 a.m. I'm sitting at my living room table trying to eat a piece of toast. Not the best breakfast to fight fascism, but my nerves are shot, and it's all I have the energy to make. Today's going to be long, and I'm going to need the energy, but I just don't feel like eating. Anxiety does that to you. I didn't sleep much, but I'm awake. Really awake. Most people don't work on Saturdays, but being someone that works in the service industry, I do. I should be there right now, at work, but I called in sick. Can I jump out real quick and just say people who call in sick, fake calling in sick is the most childish thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I respect more someone just saying, hey, I can't come into work today because I have something important and not showing up, you know?
I can't come to work today, gotta go fight some fascism.
I would respect that more than, I'm puking, my stomach hurts, I've got a tummy ache, all I ate was toast. Alright, anyway. I fibbed a little bit. Gave my manager the classic food poisoning story. God, what a fucking loser.
Well, it's probably done a lot in service industry, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time. The thing is to say that like you've got the stomach bug, because no manager's gonna be like, oh, so you got diarrhea or some shit like that. You know, it's gross.
Yeah.
No one wants to touch it. You know. Anyway. But the only thing I'm sick of is having to go out in public to confront fascism, and yet here I am, getting ready to do just that. The word is that today could be another Charlottesville. I believe it. I'm worried that by the end of the day, one or more of my friends will be dead or hospitalized or put in a coma by One Punch Man. Suddenly nauseous, I grab the plate, walk to the trash can, throw the toast away. So wait, he didn't even eat the toast?
No, he didn't. He's so nervous. And look how he references One Punch Man. They're literally
I threw that in there. I threw that in there.
Oh god, I should have read.
Oh man.
But still.
Right, is there anything else? Should I keep going on here?
No, wait, hold on. Let's skip a little bit. I already found the good parts. 2 p.m. That's the good part. Yeah.
Okay. My adrenaline has been up and down all day. I wonder if that has to do with his antidepressants and other.
Yeah, not eating.
Mouth, you know? Yeah. All right, and with nowhere to go, it buries itself in my stomach, mixing with my anxiety in the most unpleasant way. I fight down the urge to throw up. I'm starting to wish I'd eaten that piece of toast. God damn it. Up at every indication of dispersal, every indication that Patriot Para is going to charge us, down with every moment between. Every time my body forces me to find a bathroom. I know I'm not alone in that last thought. Although not discreet, there really should be bathrooms at every anti-fascist demonstration. I mean, come on, we don't want to pee our pants like Tiny does every time, and we have to stay hydrated. Hydration is the most of our muscle strength. I don't know. I'm pretty sure pissing yourself is very communist.
I
can't think of anything more commie than like shitting your pants.
I'd see them piss on the police.
Every commie I've ever met smells like shit, so I mean, I just assume.
I mean, look at what he's saying. He's so fucking LARPy.
No, I know.
Like, it's 50% LARP and 50% like venting to a therapist about your depression.
Yeah, this is
That's
like a very bad
like.
journal entry. And like in reality, I feel like this dude probably is just, or sorry, I don't want to assume this human. I'm pretty sure they're probably just someone standing there with a sign, and they're like, has their adrenaline up, ready to throw up. You know, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
There's very few of them that go out and actually fight. Most of them just stand there and yell.
Just look at what he's writing here. If one of these fascist guys, even if it's a woman, if they even come like within 20 feet of them, they'll start running away. He's already pissing his pants before anything happens.
Okay, this is at 2 p.m. I don't think the thing happened until like a little bit later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me see what's the next good part. Yeah, let's go to 3 p.m. Where is that?
Right here. The next hour passes slowly.
Wait. I don't have it yet.
God damn it.
There
dude.
we go, yeah.
Okay,
The
go,
quotes
go.
were putting me off.
The next hour passes slowly as we stand in front of the waterfront, watching the fascists get bussed off back to Washington, Colorado, Arkansas, California, wherever the fuck they came from to invade our city. I wonder to myself if they get packed lunches and juice boxes for the ride home. After all, they've had a hard day of suppressing freedom, and really?
Yeah, he's
Packed
going
lunches
there.
and juice boxes?
I
I
think
mean,
this
at
kid
least-
is like 12 or something, I don't know.
Even if that's the case, at least they're fucking eating. At least they're not like so anxiety filled that they're gonna be puking up a juice box. Or... Many of them leave, but others stay. Tiny and his crew continue to assault people for the rest of the evening in downtown Portland, probably disappointed with the amount of violence they're able to inflict that today. They're free to do so. The pigs don't stop them. Don't even pretend to stop them. Okay, so the riot or the rally or whatever they're referencing happened like weeks ago. I remember reading about it. And I don't think there was any fucking violence. In fact, all I heard about it was that the police did a very good job keeping Antifa from the protesters.
It was in DC,
Or the
right?
rally.
Oh. It was in DC, right?
No, this one's talking about a Portland one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there was like almost no violence, except one of them. This is the rally where the Antifa got the flash grenade shot in his head.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
know.
In fact, it even references that up here. All right, is there any other good chunks?
I think the very end is also pretty good.
Wait, let me read this. Today was not Charlottesville, and for that I'm glad. My friends are injured but not dead. I am already thinking about the next one of these fucking rallies. When does this end? How do we deal with the police force willing to attack us and potentially kill us on behalf of a fascist street guy? How do you deal with it?
I
Maybe,
have an idea. Not
Don't
do what
chip
you're
out.
doing. Yeah. Don't start attacking them first. What about
Yeah.
that? Maybe?
Is this still a three-way fight, or have we entered into new territory? One where fascists act not with the tact approval of the cops, but with explicit coordination between the two. What will true and absolute state of fascist collaboration look like? And are we already seeing it? How do we recognize it? How do we stop it? We have to answer these questions with urgency and creativity. I suggest songs. That
Yeah.
might help. I
Songs.
suggest cardboard signs. That might help. Making
Well-
giant shields out of barrels. That might help. That's creative and urgent.
Yeah, just make the same mistakes that they made at Charlottesville one, the first one, like wearing those shields with SS on them. Take like Antifa shields with you, you know?
Yep.
Keep dressing all black. Face masks.
Alrighty. Let me get this last paragraph in.
Right, yeah.
Oh God, the way he signs out. Okay. Today no one died, but my anxiety will not dissipate, and the trauma that my community lived through today and every other day that fascists flooded our town will not soon disappear. There will be more days like today, and there will be more Charlottesvilles. Charlottesvilles without end if we don't stop this. If we truly intend to win, and I fucking do. Okay. If they truly intend to win, eat. God damn it, train.
Yeah, eat your toast, man. So you don't like think about throwing up every 15 minutes.
I suggest drinking a juice box. Don't fucking,
Yeah.
don't talk trash on juice boxes till you try it.
And I guess get bathroom facilities for Antifa protests. I don't know.
Or just
That's
wear
what-
like adult diapers. That's, I mean, that's like... Alright. We have to find new ways to oppose the ever more intertwining pillars of state and fascist violence. No one is going to save us. We have to save ourselves. Solidarity with Charlottesville, DC, anti-racist, Portland loves you. Peace out. Very anxious anarchist. God damn it.
Oh god. I think he's proud of it, like that he's got an anxiety. It sounds like it.
Yeah, he probably identifies with his quirks. So
No kink shaming here, please.
yeah, no, sorry. But yeah, so this one is about the Portland Patriot Prayer rally that happened maybe a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just noticed. But it's the
I mean,
same
it's still-
thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was almost no violence from the right at that rally.
Yeah.
Unite the Right 2. They have.
Well,
the
yeah,
violence
I
from
think
the
I
right.
confuse it because it's the same here. The right did absolutely zero violence because they got carted off almost right away,
Mm-hmm.
and there was nobody there.
God damn, though, that was a. I'm glad I could read the journal entries. I wish I could just like get a stack of Antifa diaries and just go through them.
What?
I said I wish I could just get
yeah.
like a stack of diaries from Antifa members and just go through them.
Well, the thing is, I think most Antifa probably keep a diary.
No, yeah, for sure, 100%.
Very important.
All right, do we have a few more Twitter posts as well? It looks like.
Yeah, hold on. Let's
What's up?
let me switch back here and open up the next one. The little clip.
Oh yeah.
Would you just want to shoot them all?
Yeah, dude, gotta shoot them all.
Gotta shoot them all. I mean, how is this good PR for them?
Yeah. But the thing is like they like that diary entry that we just read. They get pumped up from their fucking anxiety and mental issues. So if they come with the objective, they cause violence against Nazis, there's no fucking Nazis for them to attack because none showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're gonna have to do something. All that pent up anger, you know, what are they gonna do? Go to the gym? No. I mean, they could, but no.
It sort of reminds me of like how blacks chimp out. It's like they need their thing to focus on. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as they can chimp out as a group, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although there was one black guy who was trying to get them out. I think he's our black. When a black guy is the most intelligent person of your organization, that's when
Yeah,
you have a
there's-
problem.
And then we got one last one, right?
Yeah, one last one. I saved this one for last because I mean, look at this shit. It ends with
Ed
Stein, his
Craigstein.
name.
Yeah. If only I had my echoes. Next stream.
Let me do my my drop for that.
There's a perfectly good explanation for this, I assure you.
Best ever.
Alright, let's hear it. If any non-racists are planning to attend the Unite the Right rally this weekend in Washington, D.C. to protest the white supremacists, please be sure to take as many photos as you can so we can share the faces of racism publicly with the world.
Yeah.
If you
So
scroll down, you get
fu-
that very handsome picture of Charlottesville.
Yeah. That's like that picture was used everywhere.
It's not that bad of a picture. I mean, he doesn't look like violently angry, you know?
Yeah, he does. What are you talking
You think so?
about?
I think it's, I don't know. I think it's a good picture.
No, the fucking torches alone, man. Come on,
Okay.
what the hell?
I'm just looking at the face, and a tiki torch is like very corny touch for sure.
I mean, either do a pagan festival or do a rally. Don't do both, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
But no, the general thing of the tweet is like it's so disturbing how they just want to ruin your life. They don't want to debate. They just want to shut you up, ruin your life.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
fucking disgusting, these people. Let's just that drop we're gonna need it a fucking lot.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think that's enough Unite to Right. Let's be mainstream media and censor it. Antifa was good
Wait.
boys, they didn't do anything. Oh wait, no. Right,
I got,
you had
I
some
got a few things from the counter protesters side.
yeah, some positive stuff.
Yeah. I
Let's
need
make
to
him look
find-
good.
Yes. So the
Alright.
counter protesters had.
I'm gonna
some
pull it up.
speakers. Did
But-
I sent you the links, right?
Yeah, I have it open right here, but you're gonna have to tell me the timestamps because this is like 5 hours and a half.
Okay.
So just tell me, I'll put it on, and then we can watch it.
All right. So the first one's gonna be 37 minutes and 1 second.
Okay, let me go.
I can just give you the link here.
Yeah, might be better.
There you go. So they had a series of speakers, but this first one is a very angry Palestinian,
Oh.
Palestinian, however the fuck you're gonna pronounce that.
I don't
And
even know.
I don't know. We'll start it, and then you'll see the
Yeah,
second one.
okay,
The 2nd
I'll,
one relates to it.
I'll just say 3, 2, 1, and we'll play. Okay?
Alrighty, ready?
3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
What the hell?
It's just straight up terrorism speak.
I mean,
Before I begin, let's get on the same page here. There are alt-right and agent provocateurs that might like to incite violence and blame us for starting it.
what a good public speaker. Speak up!
To begin with the public recognition of the fact that many law enforcement officers, both in uniform and in plain clothes,
he quotes the law enforcement.
clothes for starting stuff, are gathered
Look at him
on
nodding.
Sunday, and the fact they are sworn to keep the peace. We come in peace to raise our voices in advocating for peace, liberty, and dignity of all people. We are gathered here today to stand firm and stand tall.
So
Look at how his voice breaks every time he yells.
yeah, and he starts like screaming at the microphone. I don't know if you really want to sit through all 5 minutes of this.
No, I
but
don't.
He doesn't say anything interesting. I just love that he starts out. Oh, there he is. Now he's fucking freaking out.
Eternal Island.
Okay, yeah, I'm muting it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is how someone looks when he rehearses his speech like 20 times in the mirror, and then like
Yeah.
loses his shit when he has to bring it and starts cracking his voice every time.
It's pretty fucking bad. And later on, like I only watched this speech once, obviously, because there's nothing of substance to it. But I'm pretty sure at the end, like this goes on for like 6 minutes, and then at the end he says, "Now I have a song to sing for you all," and then he like gets like kicked off, I think, because he's going on for too long. I don't know what he was planning on singing. I don't know. It's fucking weird. All right, so here's
do
the
you have
next
that
one.
timestamp of where he gets kicked off?
Here, let me just like skip around, but I don't really want to waste too much time on it.
Yeah, okay.
It's not really kicked off. They just tell him he's gotta get off.
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm like hitting the button. He goes on forever. All right, so here's the second one. So among like the 4 or 5 speakers they had, like 4 of them were black Jews,
Obviously.
like gay, like queer trans Jews. I like to call those guys Frankenberg's creations.
Frankenberg, what the fuck?
You know, like Frankenstein, but
Yeah,
Jewish.
I get it, I get it.
All right, here's the second one. That's why you to listen to what this dude says, and then we can move on. There you go.
Okay. You ready? I'll do a countdown, okay?
Wait, hold up.
Are you not ready?
God damn it. That's weird. I don't know if I sent the right one.
The one at 2054 seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
but it looks like...
Some
not the right
black
one.
guy with
That's weird.
sunglasses.
Yeah, that's not the right guy, unfortunately.
Oh. He looks
Yeah, I don't know. But
very
I mean,
cool.
that guy's one of the Jewish blacks, if you can't tell, with the wonderful headgear and the nose. That nose.
Let me just play this a little bit. Let's see.
Yeah.
But there's so few of us.
So my safety can't be built on any one piece of pillar of myself.
Is he gonna start rapping?
So what I need
That's what he looks like, right?
It really looks like that.
is for us to start breaking our love affair with whiteness and our love affair with wealth.
Oh, he has a yarmulke.
Property over
Yes.
A pink one or
Yes.
what?
That's what it looks like.
He's very stylish. Definitely not gay.
living when our bodies are most a prize when we profit somebody else. Because I'm reading that by the middle of the century, black wealth is going to be zero.
Okay, and
Have
he's
the
boring
other-
as fuck.
Yeah, I have the other guy that's trying to get to the beginning of his thing because he says something pretty funny.
Oh my god.
While I'm getting to that, so another thing I wanted to mention was that they have a female speaker as well, and she
Obviously.
goes on about how the youth is like the power of the movement, and she starts chanting, "The youth is the truth. The youth is the truth."
Was she
And I'm just
inspired by
so-
Hitler?
I guess so, right? But I just think like their fucking chants are so like there's no thought behind them. They just
Wow.
rhyme. I mean, it's and also when they're chanting their like "Go home Nazis" things, I love that they have like the same vocal pattern every time. It's like "Go home Nazis, go home." It's like so like their
It's-
voice breaks and
It's sort of like, you know, like football fans, I would say, or soccer
yeah,
fans.
it's actually a lot like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just fanboyism. There's no thought behind that. But at least in sports, that's normal. Here, it's just weird. But yeah.
All right, I sent you
It's
the right one. I
Antifa.
don't know what happened last time, so sorry about that.
All right, let's have a look.
Count me down
Okay,
when you're
yeah.
ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, I am Jewish with roots in the Middle East and North Africa.
Oy vey.
And to be honest, with a different perspective on Israel from some of those who have spoken before me. But I'm here for the same reason you are.
It's weird, but he actually looks Jewish. The way how he acts is Jewish.
Yeah, he's definitely probably in a very deep bloodline, I think. Like, raised by a Jewish family that was raised by a Jewish family, so he's like truly got the Jewish body language down and all that. But I just love that he starts off by saying, I have a different perspective as the last people who spoke about Israel. But I'm here just for the same reasons as you are.
Not even related, but always gotta show my Zionism.
Yeah, exactly.
We was Hebrews now. Okay.
Alright, that's all we got on this
Yeah,
one, so we can...
yeah. Let's move on. Let's leave Unite the Right behind. Never talk about it again. It's just
I mean, there's
another Antifa stomp, nothing more.
Yeah,
The
there's
right-
really, really don't think it's gonna be talked about ever. Like,
Yeah.
it's
The
such
right
a
wasn't
tiny...
even there. It was just Antifa. All right, hold on. Let me change this. Back to the memes. Starting with a really good one.
Oh, give it the. Do you remember the meme that has to related to the topic that we're gonna talk about?
Oh yeah, right. It was well, it was actually related to the previous topic here. Let me see if I have that.
I mean, it's in the chat. I can send it to you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd like to show that. Best fucking meme ever.
Here you go. I sent it to you.
Yeah, okay. Let me just quickly pull that up on stream again. Just fucking reading it again.
I love it. I gotta wait for the delay to make it pop up. Is on the screen now.
Yeah, we get it instant, you gotta wait.
Uh-oh. So, there we go. I'm at a restaurant the other day. I'm eating. I'm sitting down, and I order just a water. I don't do soda. If I drink anything, it's gonna be water or coffee. Like as unhealthy as I get is coffee. I'm not gonna drink soda or any shit like that. So I get a
Yeah.
water, and I drop it off, and there's no straws. And I don't know why. But anytime I go out now, I have to ask for straws. Every goddamn time. I mean, I'm not a priss. I'm not gonna like complain about having to sip on the side of a cup. But I'm pretty sure it is pretty standard to be at a goddamn restaurant and get some straws.
Yeah, that's true.
As I talk to people, I start realizing it's more and more common that we're not dropping off straws because it's an environmental thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting in arguments with people about, you know, California's starting off on the right foot banning straws, you know? It's time for all states to ban straws.
Assault straws.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I just think it's gay. And although the premise behind it is not that bad, you know, straws are polluting, whatever. They're polluting the ocean, polluting our green earth. The lands of our future children are being polluted by, I don't know, piles and piles of straws.
Our children are gonna become mutated, have like straws coming out of their body in 20 years.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
We gotta stop that.
The future. I just think, even though that it's a good cause, I guess, the fact that they're pushing it on me, you know, they're not even offering me a straw at a restaurant, it makes me want to counter signal it.
Okay.
And I guess that's what I wanted to talk about, is the fact that, like, I know it's childish to want to watch, like, really fucking liberal, hairy-legged women freak out the fact that I'm using a plastic cup over and over again.
That's one of my hobbies. That's a normal thing to do. Just piss them off.
Is it... I know, but I feel like maybe I should be finding a way to be a shitlord about that through words rather than, you know, damaging Earth. If throwing a plastic cup away in the non-recyclables is gonna destroy Earth, you know?
Yeah, it's also shallow. But first, I want to say, even though I never use straws, I really dislike them. I don't see the point. I would start using them just to piss these people off. I don't get straws.
I mean, well, this is the thing, is I've seen people using metal straws now, and in that case, like, if you really need to use a straw for a drink, then cool. I guess that's the way to go.
Yeah, but that sounds horrible. Metal, isn't that gonna taste horrible?
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, doesn't all signaling taste horrible?
I guess.
So,
I guess.
You gotta do what you gotta do to signal.
Actually, at my bakery, they do the same thing. Like, they no longer give bags, and they even have like a stupid sign how they're saving the environment or something.
Right.
You always gotta bring your own bag. I mean, I get it, but I'm okay with the principle behind it, but I hate the people who are pushing this shit. Because I know they're not doing it to save the environment, they're doing it to fucking signal, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's
I guess
so
that's
annoying.
what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's the people that are people like me that are shitlordy with it, or the ones that actually care, but the ones that are signaling are just doing it for, you know,
not gonna lie,
mental masturbation of signaling.
I don't care that much, to be honest.
Really?
Well, I mean, I care, but like not in these things, you know. I don't think this is what's gonna make the difference.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't think that my usage of plastic is really gonna affect the world that much.
Just keep reusing them and get cancer. That's what they
Sweet,
say, right?
Plastic cancer. Yes.
That's Hitler coming back from the grave to punish you for destroying nature.
Yeah, he said these are supposed to be the lands for our future children, and you're just destroying it. All right, but moving on from that, we were going to talk about how
one thing
corporations
first.
are
One
using it.
First. Have you ever heard, like, it's almost always girls who are gonna say this. First they like talk about how they care about the environment, like, I'm a vegetarian, my body's a temple, I don't want to destroy anything. And then 5 minutes later they're going outside to have a smoke.
Yes. Of course.
Like, all these environmental people, they fucking smoke. I don't have a problem with smoking, obviously, but I mean, you can't say that you're pro-environment, you don't want to destroy your body with all this shit, and then you go out to fucking smoke. You're destroying the environment and your body. I mean, maybe stop with that first, and then start taking people's straws away.
Maybe, well, a lot of them vape now. I don't know if vaping is bad for...
Not
that
really.
vapor
I
is
mean,
so
yeah,
fine.
that's like Steam, right? I guess vaping is
Yeah.
the future. Daily Stormer was right again. Never gonna do it though. It looks fucking retarded.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, there's... Again, I can only touch a vape if I'm really drunk, and hopefully I'm not getting drunk enough to ever ask for someone's vape. I fought it last night while drinking. I saw someone whip out a vape, and I was like, no. Not gonna happen.
Getting drunk, no problem. Vape, that's just a bit too much.
And these people are the vegetarians that claim that being a vegetarian is better for the environment as well.
Yeah.
And I
Bullshit.
have to actually, yeah, I have somebody in my circle that is vegan and spouts that shit all the time. She says that she's caring for the animals, caring for the environment, all from not eating meat.
Well, I mean, caring for the animals and for the environment isn't the same in my opinion.
Oh,
Like-
not at all.
Obviously, animals are getting mistreated, but it's not the same as destroying the environment.
Yeah.
I agree
guess
that
it-
animals are getting mistreated, but the environment getting destroyed because we eat meat, for example, that's retarded.
Mhm.
Makes no sense at all. Like the argument I hear the most is the one I talked about before, how they say like, well, if we only eat grain, then we could actually all live off the grain, and we don't have to kill any animals. We could feed the whole planet, which we can't really do right now. That's their argument at least. But like they fail to take into account
Wait.
that.
So,
What?
are you saying that real vegetarianism hasn't been tried yet?
I'm not seeing where you get that analogy from.
They all say that real communism hasn't been tried
Yeah,
yet.
no, I get it, I get that, but okay.
We're not feeding all our people with grain. If we just give it a try and just feed all people with grain, we wouldn't have to kill animals anymore.
You know what? I don't know why, but for some reason I think that might stop racism.
How so?
I think eating meat is like a root cause of racism, because you get testosterone.
Yes. God,
You
actually,
get the feeling of killing something.
I've actually heard that, like that point in person.
Oh god.
It's fucking
You
stupid.
can't parody these people.
No,
You just have
they're
to
doing
say what they're
themselves.
saying. They're so retarded.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all I did was agree. Like, she told me, like, oh, every time I see you eating, you're just eating steak and eating all this meat. And, like, she, like, started grunting it. And I was just like, yes, you're right. Makes me feel good and full. How do your
Yeah.
fucking salads and soups make you feel?
Whenever a vegetarian's around me, I'll keep heckling about it all the fucking time. I'll say stuff like I only want to eat the animal if I know it suffered, shit like that, just to see what they're gonna say.
Another fun one, because a lot of vegetarians and vegans especially, they like to pretend that they're really fucking cautious about what they eat. But even though they look at the ingredients, all they look for is like milk or eggs. They don't actually look at the harmful stuff in there, But the other day, there was a vegan that I was hanging out with, was eating like a bag of chips. And I didn't know if I wanted to share this on the stream, but I'm gonna do it. I'm a recovering vegan.
Go for it. Yeah.
In my
Recovering.
puberty days, I was vegan, and I was hardcore into it. Like if I saw a bag of chips that said may contain milk, I didn't touch it because it may contain it.
Oh
And
my
this
god.
Fucking vegan was eating these chips that said may contain milk and eggs. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't think those are vegan. And she's like, yeah, they are. And I look at it. It says on the back may contain milk or eggs. I'm like, how are you gonna like be so hardcore up your ass about being a vegan when you're eating something that may or something that is produced by someone who uses animal products? And they didn't have an answer. They continued to eat them.
Yeah, I mean it's all signaling. They don't really care, obviously.
Yeah.
Because like you couldn't almost eat any candy, I think, as a vegan, because most of it has like animal fats in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
A lot of sugar itself is like produced with animal product as well, so.
And even in the vegan meals, you have like some shitlords who work there, and when nobody's looking, put a little meat in there.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a friend once, and his class, there were quite a lot of Muslims in it, probably like 5 or 6. And they were doing a school trip. It was pretty late, and they had to go get dinner, so a couple of them, they went out and got some food, and they picked all stuff with pork in it, and then they gave it to the guys and said, "Yeah, no, it's no pork, it's chicken." I love shit like that. I guess it's not really vegan, but it's even better.
It's so good. Yeah.
Just made me think of it. Well, actually, I had an original point that I'm gonna finish making, I guess. The environmental thing. So they say shit like that if we wouldn't use all the grain to feed the animals, we could actually use it to feed the humans, and we eat less of it than the animals because, I mean, we make them fat, you know, so we gotta give them a lot. So we could theoretically feed way more people with that and not hurt any animals. But what they fail to consider is that all the food that the animals eat isn't for human consumption. It's not the same type of corn. That type of corn for the animals, you can do that even sometimes several times a year because it's not the same quality. It's completely different. If you ever try it, you'll notice it's like hard. It has barely no taste. It's just to make them fat, the animals, nothing more. You could never sell that to humans. If we would do it with human-grade food, we would feed way less people.
I don't even think that's nutritious enough. Like, if we all lived off the grain, we would probably be just as small, fragile, and skinny as all these fucking commie vegetarians are.
I mean, if you know anything about evolutionary psychology, the reason why humans were able to get so smart is partly because we ate a lot of meat, because that gave a lot of calories. So any vegetarian, I'm like, you do know that meat is the reason we're smart, right? And they flip out. They don't know what they just say. Oh, that's bullshit.
I love to tell them that not eating meat shrinks their brain. That gets them all riled up too.
I'm not sure if that's true, but
well, maybe not, but it's still fun to tell them.
Yeah, I would definitely still say that. Why not? So, one other, I guess, element in all of this is how corporations use all this environmental shit. Because like right now, the only thing that's sort of safe to signal about, except for SJW shit, like racism is bad and all, but like the only normie thing that you can signal about is environmentalism. So it's very easy to use the public opinion to like enforce laws to make the environment better. So you get like some sort of law that says, okay, now you can no longer have cars with this type of emission. And we have all these studies to show that there's like a slight difference. They always use like the higher up, like the most dangerous circumstance. So usually a study is like, it could be this bad, all up until this bad. It's like a whole range of things. They always pick the worst things and they say like, look at this, we gotta do these regulations. And people are like, oh yeah, the environment, cool, let's support this shit. But what ends up happening is that the big companies can actually pay for all the tests to make this shit work, but all the small companies, there's no way they can ever pay for all this testing. So, I mean, they simply go bankrupt, or they have to change their whole business model. It decimates them. Like, I think the biggest example would be GMO foods.
Right.
GMO foods are, well, most of them are healthy. I don't know exactly. I wouldn't say that they're always healthy. I don't know that, but they're usually healthier. But the thing is, a lot of non-GMO food is just as good, just prepared in the exact same way, but the people who made it simply don't have the money to get that testing done, so they don't get the
Yes.
label GMO. So they get fucked over. They can't go into any of the big stores like, what is it, Whole Foods in America?
Right.
Because they don't have that thing. And consumers, they look for that sticker GMO based because like, look, I'm signal, I'm
Right.
I'm using GMO food. When in fact, most of the shit that you could get at the supermarket is just the same quality, but the people who made it can't afford that label. It's really retarded. I don't get it. Well, I get it.
I do go out of my way to buy certified organic and
Yeah.
GMO
So
food, just so I can be. It's not signaling though. It's just to be safe. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, well,
Even if
true.
even if it's like a smaller company can't afford to get the testing done, that still means that there's no testing, and I don't know exactly what's going into my body. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point. Even if you're not signaling.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't change the fact that companies are just screwing people over like that. Because it shouldn't be like that. It's retarded.
Right.
But that's just one example. Another one. I don't know if it's like this in America, but here in Europe, like I think 10 years ago or something, diesel gasoline. I don't know if you know that. Well.
A little bit.
Yeah, you have diesel, and then you have like the normal gasoline.
Right.
And like 10 years ago, they were promoting diesel like, yeah, you gotta use it. It's way better for the environment. You can do long distances. It was probably a marketing ploy because the people who supply that probably again paid for these studies. I'm not saying the studies are false, but I mean, lying with statistics 101, you know, you can say most stuff because nothing is really certain, certainly when it comes to shit like the environment. You can have lots of studies pointing to something, and maybe you have some studies not pointing towards it, but they just ignore that and use the other studies, you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So right now they're doing the exact opposite. So everybody has like, or a lot of people have like diesel powered vehicles now. They're gonna have to buy a new vehicle because they're literally they're starting to ban these vehicles in bigger cities because the emissions are too
Really?
bad for the environment. So you can't enter some cities with a lot of cars. You gotta get the newer ones.
That's insane. I mean, being
Yeah.
the public transportation guy that I am, I don't know too much about that, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
fucked up.
They're gonna start pushing this more and more. And a lot of people, I mean, are like, yeah, sure, why not? We gotta look out for the environment. But when you look back into history, you can see that it's just all marketing shit, you know?
Right.
It's not real. Well, okay, it is sorta real, but
How are they justifying it though? Are they just saying, "Oh shit, we were wrong 20 years ago. We gotta stop doing this now," or?
I think so. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about science, right? You can be wrong.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I don't like how they're using science like this. Science, not sight. I think one last example I would give is like with chimneys, you know.
Oh yeah, you're
I
talking a
don't-
little bit about
Yeah,
this.
I don't know if you remember, but maybe you were too little back then. But again, a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, probably like 5 or 10 years ago, chimneys were, I don't know if they were really promoted, but somewhat, because, I mean, I don't know why they were promoted, but I know everybody had a chimney. I remember that.
They do
like,
look nice.
Yeah,
Chimneys
yeah,
are nice
I mean,
looking.
they actually keep you warm, though. I've never
And
had
you
one,
can-
but everybody I knew had one.
You can evacuate the smell or the stench of burning Jews in your house with a chimney.
Don't get the stream banned yet. We gotta get at least to 88 episodes. Yeah, but like right now, what they're doing is they're forcing people to buy filters to put on there because of the emissions are so bad. So basically anybody who has a chimney and still wants to use it has to buy that filter. I think it's a brilliant marketing ploy because, I mean, you build a fucking chimney and now you can never use it, you know?
Yeah, you're gonna have to fucking go out of your way to buy whatever you need to use it because you have it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's.
Be wasteful if you didn't.
I mean, some of these things, there's probably some truth behind most of the signs, you know.
Yeah.
But it's probably overreached a lot, and just the fact that they're using this in this marketing kind of way, it's so disgusting, you know.
Yes.
I care about
And-
the environment. Me and Hitler.
Yeah. Again, you have to. I mean, if you're white and you don't care about the environment, you are
Yeah.
not contributing to the final cause.
the final solution.
Before we step away, I do recall that you're saying that there was. It's gonna go back to like the signaling liberals. He said
Yeah.
that Trump didn't sign a law that had to do with
Oh right, yeah.
or signing a bill. What was that about?
Well, I don't know all the details of the bill, but it was basically a whole new set of regulations that they were gonna like apply globally. So every country would have to sign it, and then obviously people would have to do it. But the contract was like put in such a way that you could sign it and still sort of not do it. So you already know exactly what's gonna happen. Countries like China, India, they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna
Right.
sign it and they're not gonna do it. You already know that. But the white countries, they're definitely gonna do it because that's where all the stuff gets sold, you know. And that's it again goes back to what I just said. Using this shit, more regulations so they can strangle the small businesses, sell you more filters, whatever. It's all very weird. And Trump, he refused to sign it, and all the lefties, they went insane. I remember here in Europe, I checked my Facebook feed. Should have never done that. It was literally full of normies just freaking out about Trump doing this shit. But I mean, Trump was very smart about it, because if you actually looked at the bill, it would cost, I think it was like $1 trillion or something, or a few $1 trillion.
For such a minuscule change.
Yeah, and if everything was done by every country, it wouldn't even change the trajectory we're going in. It's too little of a change. So, I mean, it's obvious that it's just another marketing ploy / I guess power struggle.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
he made the right move on that. I mean,
He definitely did.
it is Trump after all. He can do no wrong.
No, Trump can never do anything wrong. Exactly. All right. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, dude. I have a question. It's not related to anything, but I haven't been able to ask anyone that yet. When I was at the gym yesterday, and
You're
I
probably
was,
gay. That's the answer.
Hey, stop that. I like bruised the inside of my wrist, I think, from like lifting. Have you ever done that? Like my wrist isn't sore, but the whole thing is like bruised. It's fucking weird.
I haven't had that. No, I'm trying to
No?
think what the hell that
So
could be.
bizarre. Like my like the first half of my wrist is purple, and it happened right after I went to the gym. But it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't
Fucking
hurt.
weird. No, it's weird.
Well, what color is it? Blue?
It's like purple.
Purple. It's probably gonna turn yellow in a few weeks. It sounds like there's trauma underneath.
Oh, maybe I went too hard.
Did it hurt at the time?
No, I didn't even notice until the color started changing.
I mean, I think a pulled muscle. I'm not sure. I've never heard about that.
Yeah, that's so fucking odd.
Yeah. No, but I mean the signs. The fact that it's purple, you don't feel any pain. Something broke there.
Yeah.
Like.
Maybe a hot cardio bunny walked by and I just fucking pulled a muscle.
No, but you know, like when you weightlift, you basically break your muscles and they repair. You know, I guess you broke it a bit too much there and it ripped,
Yeah, that
and
makes
now
sense.
it's repairing. I mean, I'd say it's that. It's weird that you didn't feel any pain, but I mean, oh, for the best, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go on.
if it gets too bad, just tell me and I'll get a new co-host.
Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna do without my right wrist?
Oh god, I actually didn't think about that.
Keep going.
I hope you mean for saluting.
Of course, dude.
Yeah, okay, fine, no problems then. Okay, next topic. Let me start this, of course, with a good drop.
I am rather looking forward to this analysis, aren't you?
Oh man, I love Half-Life drops. Best thing ever. Let's just do a few more first.
Do you suspect some alien subterfuge behind this failure?
Alien, in quotes, obviously. Okay, okay.
We have to echo our use of aliens.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to check for an echo filter. We need that shit. Alright, so the topic, the Overton window.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume you know what the Overton window is.
Yes,
But,
so that's pretty much like the window of like how much you can say without stepping out of someone's comfort zone, pretty much, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you would have to say it in one sentence, it's the acceptable speech in the group that you're in. So if you would say the Overton window of the West, it would be everything that's acceptable in the West, you know?
Okay.
Like some examples would be, women have the right to choose who they marry. Like in our current Western society, that's not really up for debate. Everybody agrees with that. I guess in 5 years it's not going to be true anymore. With our Muslim allies.
Something that'd be outside the Overton window of the West would be women should not have the right to vote.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a very good example. Stuff like slavery is wrong and shit.
Caging
But-
women.
Caging women. Nah,
This
that's
is
still
now what
somewhat
women
in.
hate.
Yeah, well, and it's also important, like what we just said. It proves that the Overton window it can move a lot, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I sometimes forget. It's so bizarre, but I sometimes forget in my childhood, like gay marriage is frowned upon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even
like.
even interracial like marrying was still kind of weird when I was a kid.
Yeah, but the
And I forget that
interracial
that
one
ever happened.
has always been weird because even now, most people find it very weird, you know.
But it's more acceptable though. I mean, you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna like tell a couple like, what the hell, you're white and you're black.
People are more
But, like,
afraid to speak up about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like with gay marriage and shit, most people simply just didn't give a fuck, you know. I think that was the main thing why that got passed, because most people just didn't give a fuck.
On surface level, it doesn't really affect anybody but the people that are in the relationship. On surface level,
Yeah.
I mean, it does go a little bit deeper. I mean,
Well,
you know,
we
you
can
want to jump
do-
into?
We can do gay bashing later.
Okay, again.
That's a whole other topic.
All right.
Continue
with your science.
Yeah, let's start with the real science. Right. So, I think a good example of today, like where you could see a bit where the Overton window is starting to shift, is saying triggering words on stuff like Facebook, or even I guess in public, stuff like
Oh, yes.
nigger, Jew, whatever, you know. Usually it's not really gonna get you in a lot of trouble because most people don't actually care that you use that. Like,
Even the people that signal that they do, because
Yeah.
I've definitely been experimenting with that over like the last year or two, and it's definitely changing. Like I can pretty much freely say whatever I want to, as long as it has it's like the situation's right, pretty much.
yeah, exactly. But it's starting to get like a bit murky because while most people still don't care, the authorities care. You could actually, like in Europe, you can start getting prison sentences for that, and it has happened. People who get
Mhm.
either fines or even time in prison just for saying nigger on Facebook. It hasn't
Are
happened
you
a lot
safe?
yet.
Are we gonna have you arrested? I don't want to get you in trouble with the authorities.
Oh man.
I can't think about Locke in jail right now. It upsets me.
Well, I mean, one positive would be that I would finally have the raise where I'm craving for. Would probably be a short one though. Nah.
The other upside is you could get to know some tough 1.0ers. I'm sure even Europe's got some white power bros in the jail.
I'm gonna join the Aryan Brotherhood.
Hell yeah,
Get
dude.
like 2 little S's between my eyes. Nothing with Hitler. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I want 2 lightning bolts on my forehead.
Yes. Now this is jumping like a way outside, but did you? Because we were talking about the Aryan Brotherhood in jail. Did you ever see? I'm trying to think of what TV show it is, but there's this little bit from a doctor show, like some kind of hospital show, where there's this dude who was in the Brotherhood and he had a giant swastika tattooed on his chest, and like some nigger had to operate on him, and then like the nigger saved his life because that's what black people do best, is operations for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
But yeah, and then like after the operation, this white guy goes up to the person who's being operated on, and he's like, you know what, dude? You were lucky that this black person saved your life, because if it was up to me with that tattoo, I would have let you die, or some shit like that.
The fact that you can even say that, like, it's the doctor takes an oath to help people no matter what.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's even up for debate is fucking. I guess it's terrifying. Like.
Oh, it really is. I mean, that was a TV show. That was just like a fictional TV show, like years ago. But now I feel like people are so bitter and attached to their wacky ass ideals that if I had a lefty operate on me, I would have to be afraid of my life, or for my life.
What if you have like a female doctor who's on her period, and she sees you listening to a racist podcast? Maybe you stream like something with like cutting blue wires or something.
Then I'm sure in that case she'd get totally wet and probably have sex with my unconscious body.
They'll remove the tumor, but they'll also remove the penis. Right.
Wait, where are we going with this? Go back.
Yeah, well, you went on the tangent. Let's just quickly go back, okay?
Yeah.
Right, Overton window. So, the left is really trying to shift the Overton window right now, because naturally it's shifting back to us, because the left already went way too far with feminism like 5 years ago or something. They've basically been losing ground since then. The only reason why it doesn't seem that way is because the authorities are censoring everything, so our message doesn't get out. If your message doesn't get out, you can't change the Overton window. That's impossible, because it's all.
I remember
all about
how
talking.
suddenly the window for feminism changed, because maybe when I was my very first got into high school, feminism was something I could laugh about with my friends. Like, even the girls would laugh about it and say like, "Oh, those are a bunch of whack jobs,"
Yeah.
And then like just a year later, like criticizing feminism was all of a sudden like the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
And then,
well,
like just 2 years after that, it's like you can start fucking around with it again. Like, that window has been moving all over the place.
Yeah, it's because the leftists they have control of the institution, so they can really push it. But the problem is something like feminism. It's never. I mean, everybody wants to have sex, so everybody cares about gender issues. So you can't push something that goes completely against nature and expect it to last very long, because everybody cares, because everybody wants to have sex. It's the hardest thing to push feminism. But even look at trannies. I remember basically all my life that laughing with trannies was normal. Actually, America is different in that. Here in Europe, I mean, yeah, some of the mainstream is very pro-tranny and shit, but you don't really get into trouble for attacking trannies all that much, because the regular person does it pretty openly. Sort of like, I guess gay bashing was 5 to 10 years ago. Sort of frowned upon, but not really,
I know. I want to go back to the days where it was only a little bit frowned upon. But again, I'll try not to go on a gay bashing tangent. I remember the first conversation I guess this is just like a memory stream now. We're just retrospectively looking at the shifts here. But I remember the first time I had a conversation about trannies, and I did not know the definition of a transsexual up until I was like 16. I feel very grateful that I did not have been...
Then your homo started kicking in and you were like, am I the right gender?
No, stop. Freeze. I had a friend who was, I guess, dating a tranny, and I didn't know that. I think it was a girl that was trying to be portrayed as a male, and I didn't know. It was so convincing that I didn't know, and the girl I was talking to couldn't explain to me what a transsexual was. They're like, yeah, they're a transsexual, and I was like, okay, so do they have a dick? And they're like, no, it's not like that. It's about what's inside. And I'm like, so are they gonna get a dick? And like, she got so mad at me because I could not. She said, you know what? I can't explain this. Here's a Wikipedia article. She sends me the Wikipedia article. It's like paragraphs and paragraphs about this shit, and I got so bored. I went back to playing RuneScape instead. Like, there's no way I was gonna fucking read 8 paragraphs about bullshit, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, no, but I don't think trannies know, but I think that's the hill that they're gonna die on if they're gonna keep pushing that. No.
Well, did you see that there was like was it a governor that was running that was a transsexual? Who was it?
God, that sounds... I think I did hear something about that.
Let me just make sure it was a governor. I don't know. It was just a candidate. I don't remember who it was for, but yeah, there was like a Muslim candidate and a tranny candidate, and it's like how far are we going here? Where does it stop?
I don't know who I'd vote for. I don't know. What would be less damaging?
Well, I don't know if it was Anglin just memeing around, but he said that well, it was a Muslim, so it was Israel hating. So I guess, do I go for the tranny or do I go for the person that's kind of got the same idea?
It's just difficult. Burn it all down. Vote for the Muslims. Right, let's go back to the Overton window.
Yes.
So, the Overton window, you have this like in a general sense, like for the whole of society, or even the whole of the world, sorta with the internet now. But I think like the personal, you also have like a personal Overton window, like a scope of belief. Everybody has his own like personal Overton window of things that they accept themselves. Mm-hmm. For example, like if you would tell me like any claim which assumes that races are the same, I'll reject it outright, you know? Like if you make any claim that assumes that the races are the same, there's no way I'll accept it because I know that's not true. So I know your claim won't be true because it's based on that. That's like an example of a claim that would be out of my Overton window. It doesn't matter what arguments you would use. Unless you could convince me that races are the same, your argument's never gonna work. You literally have no chance of convincing me because you're outside of my Overton window. With lefties, I mean, it's... For example, if with a lefty would say something like, crime is not related to poverty, which is true. You have a lot of studies about that. Crime and poverty have no relationship with each other. But race and crime definitely do. It's impossible to convince an SJW of that because that would imply that races are different in these sort of ways. And they don't think that, so you can show them all the studies you want, it's not gonna matter. You have no way of convincing them. Even most normies are gonna have a problem with that because they assume races are the same. You gotta tackle that first. You're outside of their Overton window. There's no chance that you're gonna convince them. They're just gonna think you're a nutbag if you do that. You should never do that. So...
I'm trying to think of something that's totally outside of my window.
It's hard to think about. I had to think a little bit, like, to find an example, to be honest, because you don't think outside of it.
The real obvious one for me is anybody that has to, like, that fucking says it's a good idea for that tranny kid dating site to be a thing. There's no way I'd ever accept that. Anything that has to do with transsexuals and kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, that's
like I can't. Yeah, there's probably people out there that are probably totally okay for that. They're probably all 30-year-old trannies themselves looking for young tranny children, but
or very principled libertarians.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they'd be all down for that. It's their choice.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, because I'm sure that 12-year-olds have a choice in that.
Yeah, they can understand. They're fully developed after all.
I mean, okay, you don't remember how you were when you were 12, but have you never seen a 12-year-old? Do you know their reasoning skills?
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take to convince a 12-year-old boy that he's actually a girl? I think, like, with most of them, if you give me, like, an hour, I could probably convince them of that, because they're fucking 12. They'll believe anything.
Right.
Oh, God. No. Don't get me started on trannies.
I know. That's my realm of anger as well. So there, I guess you found the answer. My Overton window. You can't fucking convince me anything positive about trannies.
Gays, fine. Interracial, you love it. Trannies, too far. Yeah, and I mean, what I'm saying right now, maybe people listening, probably not, but like a lot of other people are gonna be like, no. I'm a rational person. I'll believe anything if you give me the facts. But I mean, it's completely bullshit. If you think that, then you're subconsciously still doing it. It's part of the way how we think, you know. If you don't, it would create like what is it called? Cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that's it. It would create a cognitive dissonance of having two opposing beliefs that you have. You can't believe the basis and like start logically thinking about anything that doesn't have that basis that you have. It won't work,
yes.
You know. Your brain will pick one of them and say that the other one is false, and it'll pick the one that you already believe, not the other one.
That was one of the things that made me start eating meat again. Was the more red pill that I got, the more stupid veganism. Like I
exactly, but it's usually a process. These things don't usually just happen like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna change now.
Well, this is the order it went in was, first of all, when I started eating meat, when I stopped eating meat, it was because I literally thought eating meat was wrong. And then the more red pill I got, I thought, maybe eating meat's it's natural, but I don't want to take part in it. And then the next part was, well, if I'm starting to try to follow the natural order, then why the hell am I like avoiding it? And then that's when I ate a burger for the first time in like 6 years.
Well, maybe like with starting to eat meat, it could be a bit more sudden, because I mean it's just not eating meat to eating meat, you know. But most people they go through it in stages, which is again what you can do is pick at stuff which is like right on the edge of someone's Overton window. You take parts that they believe, like some basis of that they believe, and then you start adding in some new facts, you know?
Do you have an example that you could use?
Well, let's see. I'd say maybe like when we're talking about the immigration that's bad right now, most people are like, yeah, but there's good ones as well. So you can't really say like the immigration is bad, like even if there's good ones, their children might not be good and shit, which is all true. So even if there's a lot of good ones, eventually it's gonna start going bad, because we know like the second and third generations are way worse than the first because of all the entitlement and shit. And also if they're a bigger group, they're gonna start banding together. But all that stuff is gonna fall on deaf ears for most people, because they're like, yeah, but I mean, you can't discriminate the good ones because of that, you know? That's the way how they think. So with these people, you don't start with that. You start by attacking mass immigration, saying like, yeah, but if there's so many people at one time, they won't be able to integrate. They won't be able to be those good people. They'll just be in a whole group, and they'll keep their own culture together. And if you start with that, people will listen, because most of them will agree that, like, if you have a lot of them at once, that their structure won't work, and they'll start thinking about stuff like that, and then you can start adding little other things, like maybe showing some of the violence and shit, and you start building
Right.
from there, you know? That's how you should do it. You should never, like, start with your conclusion. The Jews did it. No, don't start with that. That's like
You-
Fort Base, you know?
Yeah, you know, I've told you when I start drinking, sometimes I immediately jump to. you know what the JQ is?
Best pickup line ever.
For sure. No, so would it be good to, maybe this is too extreme, if someone was doing the argument of you can't ban all of the illegal immigrants because some of them are good people, would it be too outside of their realm to bring up the fact that we would have a few dead on our side just because we care more about the good ones on their side? Do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're getting at. I've never actually tried that. That's not a bad idea. If
Because
there
that's
aren't-
what I think of. But like the thing is like they may be
It
less
depe-
attached to
It
the
depends.
whites, you know.
If you want to use that, you're gonna have to know if the person in question, if he like thinks in nations, I guess, or in groups.
Yeah.
Because if he thinks like we're all just people and there's no such thing as borders, if it's one of these people, that argument's not gonna make any sense, you know? Because I mean,
Right.
we're all one big group. What does it matter? So if they don't think like that, if they do think in nations and shit, and like if they believe that you should think about your own nation first, even like that doesn't mean they're white nationalists, you know. You can be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most cuck person ever and still like believe in your nation, but that the good ones are just the good Muslims are just the same like the good native Belgians, I guess, or that's where I'm from, yeah. But it doesn't really matter. Like if they don't think that, no, it's not gonna work ever.
Right. I'll have to feel that one out because that's like the first thing that comes to mind for me. Is why
Yeah.
are we trying to get the?
I think
their
it's
good
gonna
boys
it's
up?
gonna work with most people probably, cause yeah, it's not that bad. But if they don't have that, no, it's gonna fall on flat earth. That's, I mean, maybe we can talk about that a little. Feeling their scope of beliefs, their Overton window, feeling it out a little bit. That's usually the hard part, you know.
Humor is a good way to do that, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like dropping a joke.
Humor
here or
is
there.
the best way, because I mean it's plausible deniability, you know. Just start
Yeah.
off slowly and see when they get offended, and when they get offended, you know where it is. Because if you go, once you step too far out of their Overton window, I mean you're pretty much done for. They're not gonna take you seriously anymore. It's very hard to recover from that if you want to actually convince this person.
Hmm.
Which is why, like, to go back to Unite to Right, the Charlottesville one was a disaster because they went way, way too far out of the Overton window, and it didn't matter what they said. People saw the Nazi flag shit, and that was enough.
Yeah.
You went too far out of the Overton window, it doesn't matter. Maybe we can talk about this. A lot of these people, I've said this before, and I've listened to their responses. They'll say stuff like, "Yeah, but you're just cucking. You're not being true to your own beliefs. You're censoring yourself." And I mean, I don't really get that argument.
Wait, about what?
Well,
For
I mean,
what?
yeah, if you don't immediately like state what you know is true,
Mhm.
or what you think is true, but like say like lesser truths and ignore the bigger truths, I guess, they're saying that you're cucking to your beliefs, which is,
Right.
I think, a really weird thing to say.
You
'Cause
can't go from 1 to 100 with your power level like
Yeah.
right away. You know, that will make people uncomfortable.
there's also how many people like drastically change their political opinion in an hour, you know?
Right, right.
Like if you have a normie, you don't start talking about how the gas chambers actually weren't real, you know? That's retarded. It's not gonna work. People, they go, every normal person like grows, it takes years to really change your political opinion by a
Oh,
lot.
for sure. I mean, I know just with our relationship, you,
Yes, honey?
you took, like, I remember when you were introducing me to a lot of these ways of thoughts, I
Yeah.
told you that I couldn't, like,
I remember
couldn't put
that.
it together yet. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like saying, I know some of these things are true, but I can't listen to it. Stuff like, but yeah, I've heard that a lot of people. say.
Young Bard days.
The youngling days. No, exactly. It's, I'm sort of like, I don't want to talk shit on people who think that too much, but if you think that, maybe you should sort of look at yourself, like, did you change your opinions that fast? And if you did, like, that usually implies that, like, there's either something mentally wrong with you or you're just very naive.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were more or less apolitical and then started caring about politics, that's like the only time that you can have like a really big change in a very small time.
I guess it's hard for some people to realize, because I had to realize it as well, that just because you know the answer doesn't mean you can tell somebody right away and they'll believe you. That's why
Yeah.
me jumping into the JQ immediately is a really stupid thing to do at bars.
Yeah.
just because I know about it doesn't mean someone wants to hear about it immediately, you know?
I mean, I guess that's the whole neat sock meme.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Or not actually neat, more like the autism shit. Because I guess autists can't do this.
Right.
Autists can't feel this out. They just they say what they think. They don't have that filter. They don't understand this. But if you're not autistic, I don't think you have an excuse. And if you're autistic, well, I guess bad luck.
Yeah.
Don't try to convert people, I guess, because it's not gonna work. You're just gonna alienate everybody. And then you're gonna have a rally and only have 20 people show up.
Hey, don't talk trash on our success. We'll take whatever we got, or whatever we can get.
Whatever we can get, yeah. Well, I don't know if you have any other
believe-
questions about that. Else, I
That's
mean, the
probably
stream's
it
been
for
going
me.
pretty long already. Think,
Yeah, I got wrapped up in this one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been like almost 2 hours, or an hour and a half.
Let's do some drops first.
I loved it, Mr. Hitler. Super good.
That's my opinion
Dude,
of the stream.
I kind of want us to play through that game.
The Wolfenstein one.
Yeah, the second one, the one that got all the fucking media hyped because it was like.
A let's play on stream of Wolfenstein. Oh god. Yeah,
What was
sure.
the hashtag they used? Because they used like some propaganda, like anti like alt-right propaganda for their coverage. I can't remember what they used though.
I didn't follow it. I didn't care at all about that game.
Have you seen the trailer? Let me find you the trailer real quick before we go.
Was it that fat bitch or something getting fucked? But I remember some grotesque fat bitch or something in one of those trailers. That's about it. I really liked the first one, so they ruined that whole franchise for me.
The first one, or
Yeah.
The first D&D
Return.
series.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein, the original one.
Yeah. Because there was a Wolfenstein 1 that I got when I was in high school that was on like Xbox 360 or something. And you know, I've always been like interested in those games just because there's Nazis in it. But I got that's the only reason why I played it. That's the only reason why I played like Call of Duty was for Nazi zombies. But I'm sure like that kind of played a role in like propaganda against Nazis, you know, because you're shooting them and they're already dead and shit like that. But the fact that there were Nazis is interesting to me. But I remember when I played the first of the newer Wolfensteins, like it turned me off. It was when I started to realize that these games are not like putting Nazis in the right light. I guess not that I actually knew what that meant at the time. You know what I'm trying to get at? It's just I've talked about this before. It's like I've always kind of had this like interest and kind of questioned why Nazis are put in the light that they are.
Well, the Nazis had some interesting questions as well.
Like, who did it?
Yeah.
What should we do to them?
I mean, the only thing you can say is, where's that fucking drop? There we go.
That's a perfectly good explanation for this, I assure you.
Morrowind exposes them.
The NWAs.
So, do you think you have that trailer? We can do it as an outro for the stream.
I would love to. I mean, I just don't know if I can find the right one. This one says Wolfenstein 2 No More Nazis, so this might be it.
Well, it's a very strong message, I approve.
Alright, let me pop this up real quick. If it's not it, I got a 15-second ad because I like to support Google after all.
Well, gotta support the creators of such a great game. Historically accurate. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that then.
Yeah, okay. Big letdown.
Sorry about that.
Alright, well, shall we call it a night?
We shall.
We shall. See you, everybody.
Next Friday, 4:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central European. As always on Fur Day. Oh, it actually says Friday now.
I fixed it. I was gonna change it to Fur Day, but I was like, nah, let's just do it normal.
Alrighty.
Alright then. See you later.
Farewell.